Yo, what is going on everyone? Welcome back for another video on Duck Survival. Today I have something pretty cool to talk about. Do you remember that for the mythical heroes we can save the coupons to summon some all the time? Alright, it takes a lot of time, but you can acquire some mythical heroes for free, okay? You can do the same for the buildings. Look at that, they are returning to the game. We can select between the three elements we already had in the game. The fire elements, the lightning elements, and the frost elements. So if you missed one of the buildings, you can take them right now, and you can save the hammers from one event to another to save over time and get the building you want. Look at that, guaranteed mythic building in 50 draws. So it is random after 50 draws, but it is guaranteed after 100 draws you get the ones you selected here. All right, very interesting guys. So I'm gonna talk about the different buildings, the ones you need in priority and the ones you can avoid, because yeah, some are very efficient, some are less efficient for different content in the game. I don't have all the buildings, I have all the fire buildings, but based on my experience I can give you a lot of tips on that. All right, so right before getting into the content guys, as always, if you want to get one of these buildings directly today, you have a link in the description below to download and play the game through the Aptoide store. This is basically the equivalent of the Play Store and the App Store, but you're taking less fees and they are giving you some cash back on every purchase. So for example, today we have the Lucky Cat, the Super Lucky Cat. So you can purchase some coupons and get some extra coupons. This is the best way to spend in the game. You have some packs right there, and if you're using Aptoide, this is the interface you're gonna have on your game. You have the price of the pack right there, 57 euros for me. You have the cashback you will get after purchasing the pack, 12 euros for me. You have the cashback you have at the top and the level on Aptoide. The higher your level, the more the cashback you will get, and to get higher in level you need to spend more in the game. But if you're using the code Ducky guys as written on the right of all my videos, you are getting 5% extra cashback and you're supporting the channel. So thank you so much to everyone using my code. That said, let's get in the game and let's talk about the different buildings we have in the game for PvE and PvP. So just go here in the engineering building. Sorry for that guys. So the first thing very important to have in mind for the camp, you don't need any mythical building for the game, right? Especially in PvP. This one, the red version, the Nuclear Command Center, is by far the best one to use in PvP for thanks to the invincibility it is given to you for 3 seconds. When it is supposed to die, you have the invincibility. 3 seconds. You already know that PvP battles are going very fast. 3 seconds is extremely long. It can give you the advantage. Imagine if you just need a few more damage to kill the enemies. You are supposed to be destroyed, but you have the invincibility. You have the extra time to kill the enemy. That is the best camp to have. And when it is level 2, guys, the invincibility is increased to 5 seconds instead of 3 seconds. This is even better. I'm gonna focus that. This is awesome guys, right? And then you have the fire version, you have the lightning version, and you have the ice, the frost version. Which one to take for PvE? Because they are gonna have a better impact in PvE. You'll have more damage to elite monsters, to bosses, to waves of small monsters. The fire one is gonna release an additional flame strike. You know, this is your skill, and the higher the level you have in the skill, flame strike and meteor strike, the more the damage the Balrog city is gonna release in battle. Then the gold mines, even if they are destroyed, are still gonna grant 50% gold to you. This is the fire version, the fire building. It's gonna release more damage on elites, monsters, and bosses, right? Then you have the lightning one, the thunder hub. This one is gonna release an orb, dealing some AoE damage, more damage to small monsters. Don't expect that to deal a crazy amount of damage to elite and bosses, okay? Then at level 1, the gold mines are gonna be converted into energy cores, producing 1 extra gold when daytime begins. So this is cool, starting to be cool on daytime number 2, right? You are not gonna have any mine at the beginning, so don't expect to have any extra gold. So over time, this one might be interesting to build more buildings, to upgrade more buildings. Then you have the freezing version. This one is going to summon a holy dragon to fight alongside your heroes, and it is going to be counted as a hero unit. So if you have some buffs applied to heroes, this guy, the hero summoned by the camp, the frost camp, is going to have the buffs. So it is pretty cool. It is going to have some damage bonus and damage reduction, and when it is level 2, the hero will have a chance to freeze targets for 2 seconds. So that building is becoming interesting when it is level 2. Having an extra hero that can have some shields, stuff like that, damage reduction, damage bonus, and freeze targets is awesome, but it is the level 2. So when you have the level 2, this building is probably the best of all buildings for PvE. Otherwise, the fire one and the lightning one are pretty working the same, I would say. But the nuclear command center is still above the others, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment below, guys. Then, which ones are important? Second position, guys, you have the walls. They are protecting your heroes, they are protecting your buildings, they are doing the job. But which one to take? The fire one, the lightning one, or the frost one? In my opinion, no need to say anything else, the frost one is always better, because you will have a 25% chance to freeze enemies for 2 seconds. A freeze means more time to survive, basically. It's gonna be destroyed less, slower than with the other walls. The lightning one is gonna deal some damage, and when it is destroyed, it's gonna release a grid on the ground, dealing some electric damage, lightning damage to enemies in the zone, but it deals more damage to small monsters. The fire one is gonna deal some damage to front enemies as the other building, but when it is destroyed, it's gonna enhance the 3 nearest building. 20% shield on these 3 buildings and damage bonus. So if you have some towers, they're going to release more damage, so it can help, but you need to have the wall destroyed for that, so it is not that efficient in my opinion. Then you have the towers, guys. You have the Inferno Tower. This is the fire version. This one is going to release more damage to single targets, so better on elites and bosses. Then you have the Repeater Tower. This is the normal version. This is the epic version, the yellow one. This one is still doing the job, guys. It releases a lot of damage on single targets. It fires at a pretty nice rate. It deals a lot of damage, so you don't really need to have that kind of buildings, in fact. You have the energy focusing tower. This one is the red version. It is still interesting, but in end game of a battle. In PvE, for example, on wave 5 and 6, you are going to have more towers, and the more the towers you have, the more the damage they will inflict, because the more the towers, for each tower on the field, each tower is getting 15% more damage. This one is cool for the building rush event. You know, you have a lot of buildings, you have a lot of towers, so they're going to deal more damage. And then you have the frost version here, dealing AoE damage to enemies, and that is pretty all. Yeah. The more it attacks the same unit, the greater the damage, so on bigger monsters, it's gonna release more damage. This is everything I know about that. Then you have the lightning version. This one is more efficient on a large group of small monsters, and this is everything you have in there. And then you have the barrack units, guys. Here you have the lava archer barracks. They are not gonna release an insane amount of damage. They are better on elite and bosses. And this is the only building I have level 2, and I don't feel like it is dealing that much damage, to be honest. Not very mandatory. Yeah, you have better things to take. The boulder barracks are very interesting because they can tank a lot of damage. They're going to divide into small versions when they die, so they are here to tank more damage. Physical damage, and yeah, I feel like they are better than the other things. Then you have the self-destruct bomb barracks. This one is cool if you're using a frost team. This is still a red version. They are gonna suicide to deal a high range damage, frost damage, and they are pretty cool. for both PvE and PvP. But then you have two other things, guys. You have the Thunder Armor Barracks. This is the mythical lightning barracks you can have. Deal more damage to small groups of enemies, and that's pretty all it is doing, in fact. And then you have the Frost Yeti Barracks. You're gonna summon only one unit, but it is counted as a hero, so all the buffs your heroes can get, this one is gonna get these buffs as well. When it is level 2, it is starting to be interesting, guys, because they are gonna slow down enemies. This is insane, right? Probably the best barracks for PvE, okay? Dealing 75% slow on enemies. This guy is gonna enhance his damage 20% more and damage reduction for 2 seconds sometimes when it takes damage. This is pretty cool. Probably the best barracks to take. And finally, you have the workshop. Different things for the different elements. You have this one, the fire one. It is summoning a volcano when you are picking up the rings you have on the ground, and when some buildings are destroyed on your side, you are gonna summon a volcano instead, dealing some AoE damage, but not a lot of damage. Don't expect that to release crazy damage, guys. You have the lighting version. You're gonna have some items on the ground generating a thunderstorm. It's gonna deal more damage to small groups of enemies. And you have the ice and snow core. One more time, it might be very interesting because when it is level 1 only, you are gonna lower the damage of enemies by 20% for 3 seconds when they take damage from the ice and snow core that you can summon by picking up some items on the ground. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best to take. But remember that you still have the red version, the Legend Workshop, dropping some items on the ground and enhancing the attack of your heroes, applying a shield to your heroes, and lowering the cooldown. So probably a good thing to take, guys. Here, using the Legend Workshop, which is Ice Frost Elements, might be a very cool idea. Then using the wall here to freeze enemies might be very cool as well to survive longer. And then using the barracks here for PvE might be a very good idea. This is gonna count as a hero. Slow down enemies, very cool unit to use in battle in PvE, in my opinion. Then for the camp for PvE, this one is gonna summon an extra hero one more time and have some chance to freeze targets when it is level 2. So one more time, very interesting. And if you're using the burial, this ground here, this workshop, the Legend Workshop, you're gonna enhance the hero summoned by the Frost buildings. In my opinion, this is probably the best combination of buildings to use. And for the tower, if you're using the Frost team, probably better to use the Frost building. Let me know what do you think about that in the comment below, guys. Have a nice day, take care, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.